my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
hey guys, hey everybody, how's it going? Happy Sunday, happy Sunday.
Hello, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Yeah, ready to love. We're here doing our panel recap, 18 panel recap of the show Ready to Love. This is season 6, episode 8. The truth will set you free. Guys, what did you think? Just briefly, what did you think about this episode this week?
Well, I think what stands out most to me is I did like the friend dates. Of course, they do that every season. You meet the exes or the friends or whatever. But I just think LJ's date stood out the most to me, and I probably have the most to say about that situation.
Okay. Any thoughts, Kimberly?
I enjoyed it. Like he said, I like when they meet with the exes. I think that's very important in dating, to meet with someone and, get the tea, because LJ's ex certainly dropped the tea.
Oh yeah, I think she I don't know why he picked her exactly, but it was interesting for sure. What about you,
Kimberly? Hold on, Orville. Kimberly, apparently she's not just dropping the tea, but she's still dropping the draws. So we'll get into that.
We'll get into that in a few minutes. Okay. Jay, what were your thoughts briefly about that?
I thought it was kind of interesting that they didn't just require to bring an ex or whoever. They kind of got a free range of who they wanted to bring to this meeting this year. So it was interesting to have that go around and stuff. And we'll talk about it, but I just noticed some behavioral patterns of certain people, namely Sharice in this case. So we'll get into it.
Maybe Katie in a little bit too, or no?
No, well, her behavior pattern didn't really change too much. It's just what we expect of Katie at this point right now.
Right. Yeah.
Katie was Katie in.
Yeah. But with Sharice, I've noticed a little interesting thing. When she's actually hurt, she does this little thing. So we'll talk about it though.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be interesting. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Wow. Hey Kirby, hey Roro, good to see you guys out there. Yeah, hey. And those of you that are in the bushes, maybe at work and can't chat right now with us, that's fine. Glad that you're here. Thank you so much for coming back. We're here weekly on Sundays at 6:30 for Ready to Love recap. And guys, anything else you want to add before we get started? Hey there, Monique.
Monique. All right. Maybe Ellen's not too far behind. Because usually one or the other pops in first, the other one comes in behind them.
Yeah, we love our Monique King and Ellen V, our moderators extraordinaire. And Jared, if you're in the bushes, just throw a hand up or a heart in the chat too if you're out there too, because sometimes he's there but he's silent. So we love all of our moderators here.
Yeah, but I'm just ready to get into it. I'm ready to get into it and tackle this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yes. So we open with the 5 gentlemen that are left meeting with Tommy in the men's lounge. And this week we find out that the men have the power to eliminate one woman. Tommy, Uncle Tommy, Nephew Tommy says, get your truth teller to meet your connection. So, and we move on. Rando chooses Brittany. He picks his ex to meet with his 3 connections: Kayla, Chanika, and Jamila. I don't know if it's Jamila or Jamala. I keep hearing it pronounced differently. So yeah, Jamala meet up for lunch with them, and Rando surprisingly actually wore long pants too. Okay, so guys, what did you think of this meeting between all these 3 women and Brittany, who, by the way, I thought was absolutely beautiful?
Ladies first.
I think it was my most favorite meetup. I don't know, maybe because Randall's, I feel, is playing the game as it should be played, but I
Okay.
thought it was pretty decent. And I think she chose Kayla as the Randall's top pick. And I like what she said about them should have just been staying friends, because I noticed that a lot when you're meeting people. You jump into the relationship phase too fast when it probably could have just been a really good friend. So it was good that she realized that, Brittany did, and she stated that, because I see that happen a lot in relationships. So I just think that maybe, it'll be a good match. I don't know. I'm hopeful for Randall. He just seemed so easygoing and laid back, like it was cool at first, because I thought he was going to warm up a little bit, but he's not warming up any. He's still just this cool, laid back kind of guy. And I'm worried to see if there really is going to be a connection, but I could see, him being the type to kind of make it work with any of his three picks, which was Kayla, Tranika, and Jamala.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Jamala.
Mhm.
Okay. Jay, any thoughts on this date?
Yeah, I'm with Kim. I did find it interesting with the ex and saying that they just were better off friends. I wish they kind of dove into that a little bit more of why and what actually transpired in their relationship, because it was short lived, yet their friendship is still going. From
Wait a minute, Jay. I thought, now maybe I missed it, but I thought that the young lady said, Brittany, right? I thought she said that they dated for 2 years. Is that short lived?
Yeah, that's still getting to me. That's still getting to know somebody, sometimes or whatnot. I mean,
Mhm.
the way people date these days, 6 months
Oh
is a
my.
long relationship. So,
Well, I mean, 2 years, 6 months is not a long for me. Okay,
2
now
years can go by.
I'm
In my
50
world, 2 years
plus.
go by so fast.
Disclaimer: I'm 50 plus, and I dated in the era that you guys apparently these guys totally missed. But 6 years is not a long time, but 2 years is certainly long enough to get to know someone. And if she said, that, and you're right, that's a very good point. I would have liked to have known why she said what she said, but I guess in my mind, I kind of just thought, what, they just didn't click. I don't see him being. He's just not an alpha male. He's just kind of, as Kimberly said, he's so laid back. He's just too laid back. So either none of these women really do it for him, or either that's really who he is, which in my case, as a woman, that wouldn't interest me at all.
Yeah, but it is that. But she also has made the comment, "Oh, you're pulling out chairs now." Now, granted, they dated like almost 10 years ago.
2014.
So, yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like, well, that's over 10 years now. What year are we in?
No,
Yeah,
it's 8
years.
It's 8 years ago. But yeah, that's interesting. Like she said, that he's pulling out chairs. But I mean, but here's a guy that doesn't even groom his beard to go out on dates. He doesn't even wear typically long pants. So I mean, everything we need to know, we can already see about Randall if we're paying attention.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like
collect the data, ladies. Collect the data.
These little things. So it's like when you say stuff like that, it's like, oh, he might not have so much chivalry in him or whatnot. Or, or he's acquiring it now over time, but he didn't have it at first. So it's like sometimes with the longer the relationships that somebody you bring so far away opposed to LJ's, there's like questions that will never really be answered fully because you dated a different person at a different time.
Okay, I'll agree with that. And to your point, that's funny though, because they actually the one is maybe too far out, but this other one is definitely still kind of current, basically.
Yeah,
too far out, one too far out, one too fresh.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a minute, though. We'll get to that.
Just to wrap it up, though, I found Kayla's competitiveness coming out a lot, especially when Jamala answered, and when she first sat down and had her confessional, she's like, I ain't got no competition here. I ain't worried. And I was like, okay, I'm not mad at that, because you shouldn't be concerned with anybody else with that. But then when she started talking on Jamala and the way she answered the first question and all this, it was just like, okay, girl, calm down. You're not dating her, so there's no need to be judgy on it. That's her answer. But yeah.
I'm sorry, Jay.
Sorry. I know I paused, but and then Jamala not answering the question about herself, but more so Randall. I was like, yeah, That one was weird. So I agree with Kayla when she said she giving out weird answers, but it was like, girl, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it kind of puts you in the mind of, you know, the original Coming to America film where they were trying to get Eddie Murphy, Prince Akeem, a wife, and they kept asking the women, you know, what is it you would want? He would ask the women, what is it that you want? Whatever you want, sir.
Whatever
you know,
like.
Yeah, whatever you like. So, you know, so Jamala kind of came across that way. It's like whatever he wants. She's trying to push him, I think, into an alpha male leadership role that he's probably not natural at being. And I think Kayla's going to challenge that because she's more of an alpha in a way, and more so than Randall. She's sort of like that chocolate thunder. I guess that's why his ex kind of leaned more toward her, because she said, this is more of what you need, or almost like a take charge kind of woman, you know, for Randall, because he's so laid back and that kind of thing. But I do think it's interesting that they can still be friends since 2014. The ex said they never should have dated. They should have just stayed friends. That happens a lot, you know. People get together, it feels good. They get together and say, wait a minute, you know, you feel like my cousin or my, you know, something like that.
I don't think anybody is saying that.
Well,
that's very strange and very perverted, what you just said. Thank you very much.
You never heard of kissing cousins in the South?
I've heard of it, but anyway, moving right along. So you guys, oh, one last thing on that, and we'll move on. Did anybody catch that we really didn't hear or see Jamala's answer to what were her goals?
Yeah, that's what I spoke on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I spoke on that the fact that she was catering to Randall, and that's what Alex was saying when he was saying the Coming to America reference, that it was more about what Randall wants and whatever, not her.
Right. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
not her. Okay, I'm sorry. I was zoning out answering questions in the comment section. Okay, all right. All right, so we move forward. Brittany, like Kayla, and Jamala, but thanks to Jamala's answers were too much about Randall, so we talked about that. Magic Mike meets up with his friend Jerlonda, who is seeking the truth from Kayla and what did I write here? God forgive me. That should have been
Brandy.
Brandy, yeah. That should have been Brandy. That should be an I. And I just noted that at the end, I just thought Kayla was working a little bit too hard, especially after last week, after her emotional breakdown with her friends. Jay, you remember that? Mm-hmm. You know, so anyway, but what do you guys? What were your thoughts about this date here with Magic Mike and Jerlonda? Brandy and Kayla?
Well, obviously, I think Mike loves the way Kayla looks. You know, she's a very beautiful chocolate sister. I mean, we just have to give her that.
She's gorgeous.
And I think she's sitting across from him. He's looking at her like, you know, I could really see myself with her, you know, kind of thing. But I think Brandy gives him those vibes. Brandy makes him kiddish, like a little kid again. And I think that when you feel like that around a woman, she may be the one. You know, when they make you feel like a little boy again, you're giddy around them, and you can't sit still, and all this kind of stuff, which his friend picked up on.
Yeah, she did.
He constantly shaking his legs, shaky leg syndrome, and all this other kind of stuff when Brandy walks in. So she could sense the energy is different. Now, this is why Brandy was crying. Kayla was crying last week, because it's like, is this what I really need? Or is this just eye candy or arm trophy or whatever the case is? Or is this what I need in my life? I think that's the crossroad that Mike is at. I think Mike probably really needs Brandy, but he loves the way Kayla looks so much that he's still kind of stuck in this dichotomy in his own mind.
All right, ladies.
I didn't have much for Mike. I'm just surprised he's still here.
Wow, Jay.
I'm with her. Magic Mike, why is he here? Why is he here? He doesn't want children, so why is he here?
Yeah, so I don't have much, but like you said, you can tell he is more attracted to Kayla, but is the energy going to overrule that? So I'm just waiting to see. Hopefully he'll be, you know, dismissed before LJ, but we'll get there later.
Wow, you're hardcore. You hardcore, Jay.
That's not Jay.
No, that's not Jay. Who's that?
That's Kimberly. That was Kimberly.
Oh, that was
Clearly
Kimberly.
on camera too. That is so sad.
Oh, okay.
But see, that just goes to show that just like with Mike, with Kayla and Brandy, any woman is interchangeable with the next, with some of these guys. And that's what that's showing you.
Here we go.
And no
Lord.
disrespect to you, Kimberly, but you know, when a man thinks with his smaller head, that just tells you that probably not the guy you want to hook your star to.
Well,
No.
I'm gonna tell y'all why Mike is still here, so I can watch the show on mute or whatever. Because as long as he's not talking, I'm okay. We good. 'Cause,
That's my point.
yeah, he got a tendency to talk himself out the
Yeah.
truth. So it's just like, okay, you know what? Let me just put you on mute and just watch a show like this. This is better.
And you
But
just
no.
look at all that chocolate.
Exactly. He is what he called Kayla. He's my fantasy. Look.
All right now.
Let me stop
Knock yourself
playing.
out with that.
Let me stop playing. Yeah, see, in my fantasies, they don't talk,
They don't
I know
talk.
that's right. Hush up, fantasy man.
No, but for real.
Lordy.
Yeah, it was interesting to see that it's a power dynamic with Kayla.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely sexual energy and
Right.
lust, a high lust.
That's all
there.
it is. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
I don't want to say that he's strangling her along, but I feel like as long as he feels like there's a chance that he can actually hit that,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna keep her there in hopes that he can actually hit it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Just keep
And,
waiting.
and, and by hit it for some square folks that might be out here listening from a different generation, by hit it you mean what exactly?
by knock her boots off.
Yeah. What does that mean?
She knows how to use another use. Guys, what she means by that is getting intimate, is what she means.
Superpower smash.
That's what
Some-
she's saying.
Somebody rocking, knocking our boots.
H-Town, bring it. Shout out to H-Town. But no, yeah, and it's so it's weird because when you do have that sexual tension with somebody, it could feel like more than what it is.
Yeah.
As long as we haven't crossed that boundaries, that energy is going to stay there, and it's always going to be fiery.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but that's why he's able to keep firm and hold his shape with her, because it's a kind of a dominance thing to show her like, hey, I can be the strong man that you might be looking for, or that strong man that compliments you. But we've already seen that he is passive aggressive, so technically he's playing up the role. Kayla, where with Brandy he can be himself.
Yeah,
he can. They both can sit in that middle ground with each other, but be okay. She's already made it known for sure, I want you.
Yeah, with Kayla, he's playing a part, it seems like. You know.
Well, go ahead, Jay, and then when you finish, I'll jump in because
I don't think that he don't not like her, but I just feel like really in his mind he might, feel like he's out of her league. That he won't be able to maintain anything long term because it could be a fear that she might go off, find somebody else, this, that, and the third, and of course he's on a fence with wanting kids, and for sure she wants. He could probably coach Brandy out of it, but Kayla for sure wants kids with an S. and not specifically meaning your kids and one more that's mine. It's like she wants kids of her own.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, I never understood why that isn't a deal breaker for people who want children and meet someone who does not want children. Why would you continue? Do you just want to persuade them? To me, that's just not good, because even if you persuade them to have children, are they going to be the best parent that they could be, knowing that they did not want these children that you persuade them to have?
If
that would be a red flag.
I feel like if you keep pursuing me and you know that I don't want kids, you just want relations with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want a relationship, you just want relations with me.
Ooh, say that.
It's like, I'll give it to you if that's the mind frame I'm in, and that's what I get from both of them. You're still pursuing a man that from the beginning kind of gave you the answer that you didn't want to hear. So you just want to have relations with him at this point, and that's why there's this sexual tension between you two.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's
Yeah,
just common.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna add. So, shout out to creator, YouTube creator, married 10 years, because I think she said it best. She basically said that Mike is attracted, is sexually attracted. Everything you just said, Jay. There's that sexual tension between the two of them, right? But Kayla is out of Mike's league. He didn't even know about Pinot Grigio. You know, he's not cultured. He doesn't seem like he's very refined at all. He's kind of like a round the way guy, and he needs a round the way guy, which is why he kind of vibes with Brandy. But Kayla will take him out of his element that he's accustomed to, and he's too insecure for that, because we see that in every time a response, any type of criticism or anything to acknowledge something about him, he just falls off, you know. And I think that's a very true thing. And also the fact that he doesn't want to have any more kids. And I totally get that. He's a man of a certain age. He's over 40. He's got 3 kids. They're growing up. Who wants to start all over again? And even though the women seem like, unfortunately, they're willing to acquiesce to a man that has all these children, that has 3 children with his ex-wife, but he's not really willing to acquiesce to what they want. And if I were them and I were young like that and didn't have any children, I would stick to my standards. No man with children. If I wanted to start a family fresh with my husband, that's what I would say. Stick to your standards. And be open. Like I said last week, be open to dating outside your race, because you may not find that with these chocolate gentlemen.
And don't think with your loins, as we see that a lot of them are, thinking with their loins.
Yes, Alex, I absolutely agree with you, because I think we forget sometimes that women do this too. It used to be a time, I think, where women were smarter about their dating and their acquiring of husbands, and they were actually dating for husbands. But then you had the sexual revolution in the 70s, and now a lot of women just date for sex and a good meal. But if you're really truly dating for a husband, ladies, start thinking outside the box. Start looking outside the box. Start being open to being available outside the box. Because if you want a husband, you can't simply continue to date men that simply want sex and think that you're going to find what you're looking for, because you will not. You will absolutely not.
Unless the woman just wants sex, because we see that there's a lustful energy.
Right, but what did I just say? I said for women who are dating and wanting husbands. That's what I said, Alex. Okay, I acknowledge that women date for sex, but I'm not talking about that. Those women I don't really care about, because honestly, if you're dating for sex, you can get that through Amazon. Okay, they got the little. Okay, inbox me. I'll tell you which one to get. Okay, but anyway,
I wanted to say one thing about Kayla too, though. One last thing about Kayla.
It'll be crazy.
It's kind of interesting that
I'm serious.
When she's around the ladies and in her confessional, she's like, and I'm not saying that you can't be proud about yourself and confident in yourself and all this stuff like that. She's very confident in self, but with all that confidence, you're almost to a point where you start demeaning the other women and degrading them, like how because you're comparing yourself to them when you shouldn't really be, because a person's going to like what they like regardless. And if you're just not what they like, then you're just not what they like for whatever reason. But when we start getting to these positions, which I know she's going to kind of get there next week, and I've heard her say it on a platform before, like, you just want an ugly wife then. And it's like, Brandy is not ugly.
Right.
Not by any stretch. She's beautiful.
Right.
All of the ladies this season were beautiful, I think.
You guys are 2 different types of beauty, but that's what the man is going to choose between. That's for him to decide. Like, you can't compare your beauty to another one. So therefore you got cracks in your confidence in places. So it's like, as much as you try to appear confident, you're really not.
It's the eye of the beholder. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on for 1 second.
Yeah, are you looking for that Amazon address? What are you looking for?
Samson has Cherise, Looney, and Brandy meet up with his ex for truth. It seems as if none of the women feel we find out that it seems like none of the women feel very special with Samson. I mean, he brings gifts for everyone. He brings gifts according to their interests.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Alex. Why don't you speak on Samson?
You
and his
know,
date?
I like Samson, but he reminds me of a politician. You know,
Mhm.
it's like he's politicking. It's like he's running for office or something when he's on these dates. You know, it's like he says all the right things. It's like, you know, Ron was saying, you know, last week, you know, he says all the right. I think he's generally a nice guy, but I think he just knows what to say. You know, I guess because his profession, what he does for a living or whatever, he
Okay.
knows what to say. He knows what not to say because it turns people off. So he kind of just comes across as a politician. And I think this interest in Cherie, I'm not totally convinced in that. I don't see it yet. I know Cherise has been on the bottom 3 weeks. There's 3 times she's been on the bottom. So she's in survival mode right now. So when when Samson's ex asks them who's all in, Cherie, not me. I'm here. I don't want to be on the bottom again. So,
Is that what you see it as? Oh,
yeah.
my Lord. It could be.
You know, but yeah, I think Samson's a good guy. I just think he comes across as a politician, being a little bit too perfect.
Right. Okay. Jay, any thoughts? Any thoughts on the Samson fiasco? I mean, scenario.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I was like, when the hell did Looney get up in this? I was like, oh, Looney's connection's gone, so they just throw her with anybody now. I was like, we ain't never seen them or hear him talk about them at all.
you know, it was that picnic, I think, Jay. That picnic they went on. Looney was there with Samson, Brandy, and Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay, yeah,
I'm just
exactly.
saying they was on screen together. You're asking.
I mean,
I'm answering.
I mean, you right. They were
It
okay.
wasn't giving anything, though, is what we're all saying.
Did she get a gift too? That's all I need to know. Did she get one too?
Good question. I didn't see him give her anything. No.
Okay. Well, you know, I don't know, but you know,
Mm.
it was funny to hear Brandy mention about the gift, and then he say you shouldn't be worried about the gift, or the other women. You should just be something with happy about the gift or some crap. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You're definitely right. He need to be a politician. He need to move to the DC, hang out with the DC cast, go into politics because he definitely got that gift.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
To maneuver when it comes to conversations and stuff. So it's just like, I don't know. I was not mad at Sharice stepping up or whatever and you know, being out of her comfort zone. She stated it several times, you know, this is not somebody I would actually go for. And I'm not expecting them to like be together by the end, even if they do be together by the end. I don't expect it to be like long term, really, because to me, this process is just to get you to open up to more.
Mm-hmm.
And being outside the box. And I see that's what she's doing. So that might just open her up to say, you know what, let me give somebody that I normally wouldn't give a chance that opportunity, because that actually might be my person. So I'm not totally mad at her saying, you know what, we got to know each other. I'm here for this ride with him right now, and I want to see how far it goes, because that's all I heard. I didn't hear it to be into what Looney was trying to say. Oh, she sounded like a pygmy, because I was like, child, you on this date is looking like a pygmy. So, but I was like, where did you come from? Seriously, like.
But you know what I think, Jay? I think by Looney being out that week with the Panorama really set her behind a little bit from the rest of the crew.
Yeah, I forgot
You know,
about
yeah, I
that.
think it kind of threw her off with everybody else. She missed that week, and I think she never could quite get back caught up with that.
But hell, according to most of the cast, most of the courting and all that is done over the phone. So she ain't a phone person, so that's on her.
She did say that.
If she was out, go ahead.
Yeah, she should be with Justice with that no phone stuff. But go ahead, Aubrey.
Right. Yeah, I was just gonna say though too, if she was ill because she did say the part about the no phone. But if she was ill though too, you know, you got to remember, not everybody goes through COVID. Some people have few symptoms, no symptoms, and some people are coughing their heads off, can barely breathe. So who would want to talk on the phone?
Well, she was keeping conversation with LJ during that time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. She did say that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I mean, I think Alex has a very valid point though, that you know, maybe that week did throw her off, but yeah, there's a lot of things that we said. Yeah. I don't think, you know, the thing about it is is not a bad thing though too is that Looney, I don't think her person is there, and I think she recognizes that, and I think it's a very classy woman, that recognizes her match is not there. I don't give a darn about being the last at the finale, you know, standing there getting the rose or whatever that thing is. I don't really give a darn about that. I want to keep my reputation intact, and I'm okay with that. So, you know, I like that about her. So it's okay. You know, you see, she didn't give up any real fight. She accepted it very classy. Unlike Trinica, who was cussing and swearing like a sailor and all that.
Yeah, we saw a different side to her for sure.
We saw the real side to her. That's what I told y'all. She been playing this game this whole time. Yeah, I told y'all I watched Trinica.
Yeah. Kimberly, have you spoken on this? I'm sorry.
I haven't. And I like though Sharice's take on it this time around. Her just being more open and vulnerable and just ready to really jump in and, you know, kind of give it a try with Samson. I also do not think that the week Looney was out would have helped, because she basically said she's not here to, I think, fight for love was her words. But isn't that kind of the purpose of this show? For this
is the purpose of it to fight for love, or is the purpose to show yourself ready to be loved and ready to love? I'm not sure if I'm fighting for any of that.
Well, but
girls is carrying on
out there, and really, it's a competition. Really, it really is. You have to show yourself, I guess, ready, available, and willing to put in the effort, because a lot of these days, sometimes the women have to initiate, and if she's not willing to initiate or really pursue, this isn't her game. This isn't really her show. So I don't think it would have helped at all, even if she was there long term. But did y'all hear Alabelle say that Sharice was soft? She liked Sharice.
Yeah, so Sharice is soft. I think she's I think she's making a little bit of a transition, because like I said, she's been on the bottom 3 times.
I was happy to hear it.
Yeah,
she's around Samson.
Yeah.
You said what did you say, G? I didn't hear you.
She's soft around Samson, because we've seen this side of her every time she's been around Samson. She's been this soft, you know, she's had this softness about her.
That's a good point. I think that Samson, the one thing about him being a couple of things about him, a man, period, him and any other man who's a gentleman, who appears to be strong and appears to have some leadership to him, is that's when a woman, particularly a Black woman, can be soft. But if you're around a mealy mouth, weak livered guy, then you really don't have an opportunity to be soft, in my opinion. You know, so that's why, again, I don't like men that aren't alphas. Not to date, you know, just for friends or neighbors or whatever that thing is, fine. But to date or to be married to, no, you don't need that man, because you're gonna always have to live in your masculine energy to protect yourself and him, because he's mealy mouth, you know.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Is it not true? Is it not true?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it takes a certain kind of a guy, and we've seen this as the season goes on, to bring certain things naturally out of the women that they're attracted to. Because one thing I know is that if you exude natural leadership ability as a man, I don't care how strong and independent that woman is, if you exude that to her and she feel that, she's going to let you lead her. She's going to let you lead her if she feels that in her heart, and you show her that on a consistent basis. So I think as the season goes on, we're trying to see it more and more. I'm unconvinced with a lot of the guys, but I think that's the thing that's going to win some of these women over.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very excellent point. And so we move forward. Well, we did see also too, of course, Sharice staked her claim on Samson, and Brandy expresses some concern about Samson and this gift giving. That's what I wanted to say about the gift giving. And did anybody have any other thoughts about how you felt about Samson giving gifts to every single woman. I know in our chat they've been talking about that a little bit. What do you guys think?
It's kind of a catch-22, you know, it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know, situation. It's a nice gesture, you know, it's a Southern gesture, you know, we talked about it before. You bring stuff to people's house or whatnot, you be polite on a first meeting, you want to give them, you know, maybe give them something or whatever. But everybody don't take to that well, especially when they're in the presence of knowing that you are doing this for everybody, because it does make me feel like, oh, well, this is just your routine. Not, I don't feel special anymore. And that's what you want to feel with the person, you know, that you're possibly courting or dating. Like, hey, I'm different from the rest.
Exactly.
And again, it's that politician thing. You know, politicians, they go around and kiss all the babies, whether they want to or not. so
you ain't gonna be kissing on my baby if I have one. I don't know where your mouth been.
See, Opie got to go straight left. She going straight left.
I'm sorry. It's serious. These days, people better be aware. There's a lot of things going around that you cannot get rid of, okay?
And I agree with that too. What Donna D says, the lady should appreciate the fact that he tries to get them something special for each one of them, and it is that he is grooming the gift to each one, but at the same time, it's the same thing with everyone. It's kind of like that same thing that Corey, when he was, you know, going
kissing
around
on all the women.
When he was going around making the little scavenger hunt for Courtney.
Yeah. At
the same time, telling them about me and giving her all of these things. So it's like you start to look at it. When you can see it, it's a different thing. When you don't know about it, you're just like, oh, I appreciate it. You got me something nice or whatever. But when it's in your face, it does tend to make some people feel some type of way. It's like, okay, I got it. It's like somebody even said it before. I heard somebody say it on another review, I think it was, that they said that he even got Shakira a gift. But then after that, we ain't seen him talk to her anymore. So it's kind of like, you're just, you know, you're doing polite things, but is it special to me? Do I get a note with my gift? You know, can I get something extra? Like, you know, make me feel a little bit more special than everybody else. So,
but I'm not sure what Brandy really wants from Samson, because everybody see that she sold out on Mike very early, and she still sold out on Mike. So it's like, why should I go out of my way to get you something extra special? And when we're on a date, you're staring at Mike. If we're on a group date, you're not even looking at me. You know,
yeah.
So, you know,
yeah, and he seemed to not like that as we were watching the episode in that actual, you know, group date. He was like, yeah, he didn't really care for that, which to me, like, I thought, you know, I actually thought he was one of the more not that any of these men seem particularly mature, except maybe Swayze. But I thought Samson was more mature than that, to take that so personally, because while I can see that he made an effort, he should also understand. My thing is, did you verbally communicate with any of the women? Are you just sticking to the script to get to the end? Because at some point, one of these women, whether it's Charisse or whomever, should know that you really value her above the other women and that you really are seeking something with her. That's just my feeling. Well, so I don't know if that's wrong or not, but
we're not seeing like sparks fly between him and anybody like that. You know, there's the connection. It's like, oh, okay, while we're in this process, you're cool, so let's talk connections. But I don't really see it like I'm kind of head over heel. Like, you kind of, you know, I know everybody don't like Joy and Clifton, but you kind of seen it as they were going along, you know, as it kept continuing. You could see the chemistry between them. You could see the chemistry between Brandy and Mike.
Right. Yes, that's true.
You know, even though it was a little weird, there was chemistry between Camille and Cornelius. Like, you can see these things or whatever, but I'm not seeing it with him and anybody per se. Like, he's a nice guy, so he's going to connect with people, but I'm not seeing it where it goes further. I almost see more chemistry with his ex than any of those ladies.
But did y'all notice that when Charisse came in, he kissed her in the lips? They kissed in the lips.
He and Charisse?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay. No,
Mhm.
I actually did not. I kind of saw it and didn't see it. Well, was there any
Was it tongue?
sparks? Was there any sparks?
They kissed in the lips. I
Seeing
don't
him with
know.
I'm not seeing him with anybody on this cast myself.
I
That's just my thought.
I used
I
to work.
agree.
I used to work with a guy that every time he greets you, he could kiss you on the lips. So I
Oh
don't know.
no. Oh no, that's
Like,
nasty.
no, I mean that's just it. That's his culture and that's their way. So it's just like I don't see much from it. If I
But
ain't
that
seeing no
but
tongue
that's his
happening,
culture. But that's his culture. But my thing is, we're not at. First of all, we're not at work, and you kiss me on the lips. Whether it's your culture or whether you actually like me and I actually like you, we ain't doing that. And I just don't want people's lips on me like that. Like I don't know you like that.
my
sir.
my point of it is you could tell the difference. You like me kiss.
Well,
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
see Samson kiss anybody else on the lips that was at the
Well,
table.
he kind of not probably not that day, but he kind of went in on Brandy a little bit. He almost made it. He almost made it.
Okay, guys. Well,
Mm.
we've exhausted the Samson connection. Swayze and his male friend Ish, which is an interesting name, meets Cadian. And Cadian is Cadian. I can't even say it, but you get what I'm saying. She's being her.
Mhm.
With eye rolls, complete with eye rolls and all, and very childish. The friend asked her to talk about herself, and instead of talking about herself, she mentions that she has 2 French bulldogs. So I'm really not understanding that Cadian is so inquisitive and wants to know everything about a person's past, wants to know who he's dated, what race they are, how many years did you date outside your race, non-black women, yada yada yada. But when his friend gives you an opportunity to talk about yourself, the best you can tell them is that you have 2 French bulldogs. I'm lost, Cadian. Help me with that.
Isn't that
Yeah.
interesting? Go ahead, Kimberly.
No, I was thinking the same, but Swayze says that she's selfish. That was a point that I had made about Cadian, and I just don't
Yeah.
understand the point of her really, like you said, not wanting to dig deeper into the conversation. Maybe she's just not interested anymore. Maybe because did y'all see how she left? She was like, "Well, if y'all don't have anything else for me, I'll go ahead and leave." I just thought that was odd and maybe a little out of place. Maybe she just wasn't present
Yeah,
there in the moment.
I did notice that, but I took that as I feel like Katie gives a lot of bravado. She's that person that blows a big win and she puffs her chest up and she's this big person, larger than life, big personality. But inside, she's actually an insecure little girl. That's how I see Katie at this point. I
And
see
that
all of
could
that as
be.
just bluster, So I think she really does like Swayze actually.
Okay.
But the thing is that same thing with the children thing. Okay, somebody doesn't want children, somebody does. That should be the end of the courtship right there. Okay, same thing. She says, "Oh, I got 2 bulldogs. He was going to be the stepdad, but he don't like animals." Okay, if he don't like animals, and your dogs are not going to go anywhere. Trust and believe. People love dogs more than they love people. Okay, so your dog's not going to go anywhere. So if he don't like animals, why are you bothering with this? So then the other thing that bothers me about Katie is that she makes all these faces like Camille did back in the DC season. All these faces. You're trying to talk to her. She's rolling her eyes. She's making these crazy faces.
Childish, just
Which
childish.
Swayze alluded to that. In the men's forum. That she does these things. So whatever his attraction to her is, I don't know. Like Aubrey likes to say, maybe he's been in the pantaloons already or something, because I don't see where they're a fit. But
she's a good twerker. I've been on her IG. She is a good twerker. I got to give the girl credit. She gets a 9.5 on the twerking.
really,
Must be it.
Oh, look at you. Get your phone out now. Scroll on over there.
I'll tell you this,
Hey,
Alex.
Keena.
I'll tell you this, Alex. It is far easier
Hey
to
guys,
sway a
what's
person.
up?
Hey, Keena. It's way easier to sway a
Hey.
person into liking animals if you got some good animals than to liking babies, especially if they're not allergic. Because everybody loves my dog, and I mean I meet everybody be like, I don't even like dogs, but I like yours. Exactly, baby, because she's the ish. Okay, you're gonna love her. But no, so that's nothing. But it was in that moment. You're here to meet one of his closest friends, and it didn't turn out right with your friend because you thought it was cute to play that little game, good cop, bad cop, with your friend. So it didn't work out good. So in this moment, to try to redeem anything, you don't take it seriously.
Mm.
You know, that first question they ask you about yourself, and you go off into this asking a question back. And I've always noticed that people who ask a lot of questions are always hiding something. They tend to ask a bunch of questions to you so they don't have to reveal anything about themselves.
Exactly.
And so when it's times for those questions to come back at her, she's not prepared to answer any of them because she doesn't really want to. You know, she's not open to other people. Now she may be open with Swayze, but she's not open to other people like that. And I mean, it could be something from childhood experience, something happened, be with an ex or anything like that. Why is that the case? It'd be interesting to know, but it's hindering her from having serious talks with Swayze when she needs to. You know, you joke and you can live in a joking side of Swayze when, as long as you both are having fun. But the problem is when he's serious, you don't pick up on it. This is twice now. With your friend, funny. Go ahead, Keena.
They're so in love right now, post show. So it's like, is this like catfishing, you know, or what? Because it's like they're tonguing each other down on social media. They're just, you know, it's just over the fucking.
When the sex is good,
Keena. Hey, but now is it gonna be Keena? Is it gonna be another Dante and Aisha situation where we get this tonguing down for 3-4 months and then bam, it's over with?
I mean, he might go meet Becky again and be like, I don't know. You know,
like I say, when the sex is good and stuff like that, it'll blind you from the truth of the matter, and you start.
For me, when you know, and I ain't trying to hate, but when a brother crosses over to the white girls, you know, it's doomsday after that. You know, it's hard to will him back. So if she has willed him back, you know,
no, Keena did not say willed him back. Oh Lord.
If she has willed him back, you know, we shall see. Because you know, when he's walking, you know, he's down in Miami, all them other ethnicities, you know. I would like to see where this goes, me personally, because you know she lives in Tallahassee. She doesn't live in Miami.
That's probably why it's working, because it's still lust. You know, you're not up under that person.
That's a good point.
And he's a firefighter, so he's working all the time. You know, it's like 4 days on, 4 days off. So they're doing that. You know, they're seeing each other. You know, I guess on his days off or whatever the case may be. But you know, it's fresh, it's new, and it's out of town also type of thing. So we shall see.
But Keena, myself personally, I've dated outside several times, but my preference is still black women. That's still just my preference.
Don't nobody believe nothing you saying.
Oddly enough, I do. And here's my thing.
So
sad. I'm not sure why some black women get this idea in their head that that the world is not at large. That we live in a global environment. No matter where you live in the world, if you live in the United States, if you live in Europe, if you live in Asia, if you live in Africa, we live in a global environment. People are subject to jump on a plane like nothing. You know this, and be wherever they want to be the next day. Okay, so you know there's a whole show called 90 Day Fiance. So I don't really care about. I'm not worried about competition from other races, Caucasian women, Hispanic women, black or white Hispanic women, or Latino women. It doesn't really matter to me, their race, their ethnicity. And I understand what you're saying. I think a lot of black women feel that way, but I think that's really it holds you back with your thinking to think that way, because men are going to date who they want to date. And what I don't understand is why black American women feel stuck on just dating black American men. To me, that's where the problem resides.
No, I get that part. They're living in Miami. It's so multicultural people there, right?
Right.
My thing with them is, with this couple in particular, clearly they made their connection after filming. Okay, because Swayze is not 100% connected into her at this point. He is very little. He's a little leery, I think.
Right. Yeah, we see him.
So you can tell from where they are now. This was an off-camera connection, because they are not. This is what they are displaying now is not what we're seeing on this show. And then we're like, what, 4 shows out at this point?
Mm,
So
right.
I mean, unless something drastically happens, clearly they must have made their connection after
They
filming.
deep. I think that what you're saying, maybe they deepened it because they met through the show. I'm guessing. I didn't
Yeah,
think
they
knew
met through the show,
Right.
but it
Okay.
doesn't seem like Swayze is really so into her right now. He's a little reluctant.
Mm.
Well, I think only because Keena, at this point on this episode, I think the reluctance is, I think he really liked her. We saw that all the episodes, at least I saw it, all the episodes leading up to last week when she clowned him with her friend. She took the opportunity on a friend's day to clown this man about dating outside his race. And that's what I was just saying about black women. I don't get it. Why are you clowning this man for dating outside his race? If that's what you're doing, you really have a small pool to pick from, baby, because most black men have dated outside their race. So wake up, get woke right now, okay? If you're sitting there thinking that this is the only black dude that you know that's dated outside his race, you got to be cray-cray.
Mm.
But you also got to look at them dynamics. She went to HBCU. He went to a predominantly white school. You know what I'm saying? So, and he played football there. The dynamics of, you know, his college life, her college life were totally different. That's why she's probably like, ooh, what? You know, like.
Yeah, but as you pointed out, though, they're living in a major city, or at least they're filming in a major city, Miami, that is very diverse. And I would hazard to guess that most American cities are very diverse, culturally, racially, ethnicity wise. Okay, so if you're sitting around thinking that you're going to date a chocolate man that has not dated outside his race, you know what? Let me give me $1 because you're silly. You're very silly at 35. You're very silly to think that. And then you're gonna sit up and clown and wait. And then you're gonna sit up and clown this man on national TV and say that he doesn't like black women. I'm like Swayze. I take offense to that because what you're not going to do is put words in my mouth and tell me who I do and do not like. I like all people of all races and all ethnicities. That's what I like. I like the person that likes me. That's who I like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as Ron was saying last week too, because he's an alumni of the show, much like Keena is. Most of these connections, the real tight connections, are made off camera over the phone. People are calling each other and staying on the phone for hours at a time. So, you know, that's probably where their connection got really, really strong, because on screen we don't see it like that. We just seeing something totally different.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's some good points, though, Keena. I do see what you're saying. She went to an HBCU, and you know, she's gonna feel like that, and she has an entitlement to feel the way she feels. But I just think her feelings are kind of wrapped up in the 70s and the 80s, because for the last 40, 50 years, black men been dating all kinds of women. So wake up. That's all I'm gonna say. Keena. Wake the F up, okay? You sounding real crazy and country with that.
Oh my goodness.
So now we move on to LJ. We finally get to this LJ.
Wait.
Lord
Go ahead,
have mercy.
Keena. I can just hear you now. Just go ahead, Keena. What you got to say about LJ?
You
and
go ahead first, because I can't with that brother.
Well, we see LJ. LJ brings in his friend Lauren, his ex Lauren. I'm sorry, his ex Lauren, who's very a charming, nice looking young lady. And we find out very quickly after the ladies arrive, and she begins to talk to who is it? I don't have it down here on my cue cards, guys. Help me out. Who was it that he brought in?
Oh, that's Tranika.
Looney and
Tranika.
Tranika starts asking questions, and apparently, I mean, like just last month, the two of these people were still sleeping together. And then we go on to find out from Lauren that Lauren basically is still in love with LJ. So, like, LJ, did you really want to shoot yourself in the foot like this by bringing Lauren on the show? Because I think that's kind of what you did.
Yeah, he didn't play this one right at all. He should have brought his mama. Somebody. You should have brought somebody, because you didn't have to bring an ex. You know, you could have brought a best friend like Mike did. Mike brought a good friend, you know, so you didn't have to bring an ex. And LJ, he just played himself. That's the street code for you played yourself. You do not do that. You know you are sleeping with this woman a few times a week.
Thing is, yeah.
Keena, he know this woman loves him. Why would you bring her? That don't even make sense. You know when a woman loves you, why would you bring her back on there to meet some other women you're trying to go out with? She gonna sabotage that.
So
I'm
he
calling
didn't really
Cat.
want
Y'all don't
any
know
of
my
these
name.
women.
Love
He
y'all.
didn't really want any of these
he did
women.
it.
What-
I mean, first of all, when they do the X show, people are scrambling. Okay, people are bringing people that are best friend. Like they're not really bringing the person that they really had. You know, they bringing people that they dated in high school. You know, like, oh, that's my ex from high school that I'm just cool with. So he knew what the hell he was doing. I think he, you know, he's also an entertainer. This would be good TV. I think it was purposely done. Me personally, I don't buy it because who in their right freaking mind would do that?
Right, exactly. And it's clear when they said, you know, you still love him, she clearly still loves him. And when they looked at him to ask him the question, he started dancing in his chair. And you notice how many sips he was taking? He was really sipping the tea.
Yeah.
That Long Island iced tea.
This happened also in another season of Ready to Love. I think the second season in Atlanta, where the older guy brunk his ex, and she was saying that she was still in love with him.
I don't remember that one. Wow.
Yeah, it kind of happened before, but he's still with the girl. That girl is still posting on social media like they are like an item. So it's just kind of like, you know, this stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Wow.
So aren't you? I mean, there's nothing in the contract that says you must remain abstinent, right? I mean,
are they watching you go to sleep?
Right.
Well, no, it's not the point about there being anything in the contract about remaining abstinent, but what are you really coming on the show for?
You can't make a true connection if you're still sleeping around with another person. How can you really make a true connection with someone?
Well, in his defense, they did say about a month ago, you know what I'm saying? So that was when the show started. He had stopped while they were taping, allegedly. You know, we got to throw that out there.
Is for the streets.
Yes, we know he's from the streets. He told y'all that he's an island man, okay? Which I expect. Listen, if half of us, when we in our single phases, we still doing single things, and if my ex want to single this way with me, okay, you know, I'm gonna do it. I'm not going around telling my next that I'm still doing my ex, but you know, like.
And LJ was one of them. I really liked LJ, and now I'm like, damn, LJ, you want to mother streets, baby.
I'm gonna tell you, every island man that I know is still messing with somebody from his past, as long as that woman is gonna keep opening her legs for him. So.
But why are we talking about island men? Is that just island men, or is that most men?
That's
and women. It's not just men.
Oh, let's be honest.
It's not just men.
Like I said, as long as people are dating for sex, knock yourself out. When you get ready to date for marriage, then check out what it really is about, because this ain't it.
But you know what? You know what's interesting? People that are in transition between relationships and trying to find another relationship, they're gonna go where there's no red tape because they still have their needs that they want met.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
why you single? You're gonna do what the singles do.
That's the bottom line. You know,
I'm not totally mad at him for that. I'm just mad for you. You knew this
why
woman
on the show.
You knew this woman
is disgusted about.
Tommy said, "Bring your truth teller," and you knew she was gonna tell her the truth. Why would you bring her and then look crazy? I mean, I get that you want to be honest. So what I was getting that he want a polyamorous lifestyle. This is what he working on.
He might.
Because I was like, okay, I'm not mad at the honesty. You just trying to see which other one of these ladies gonna be down with it. And here we are.
That's a thought.
Yeah, down with a threesome, foursome, whatever.
Yeah, here we are.
You know, Kimberly, you be down with that, Kimberly?
You know, I'm not mad. If you honest, somebody will do it with you. I'm just saying, somebody will join you in that ride. So.
I want to hear what Kimberly said because her man was LJ. What do you say?
Yeah, Kimberly, we got to get to what's going on.
Listen, you was going hard on Mike, and Mike ain't did nothing yet. Yeah.
Right. That was her boo, her island boo man. You knew how them island guys were when you called him your boo, right?
Listen, and that's just in general because I've dated multiple American-born men, and they do the same thing. I could show y'all my
Yeah.
trips now, and the American men are still trying to circle back around, and they're
I
still
won't.
sleeping with multiple ex. So to me, it's not just an island thing. Yep, I'm still
True,
Team
true
LJ.
story. True
I'm
story.
still Team LJ, and I'm side eyeing Miss Lauren because from what y'all said, she's still with him. Why are you being this easy, sis? That's what I'm seeing. You already know he slept with you. Okay, now he's on the show. He's bringing you on the show, letting you know he's trying to find someone else because you're not it. Move on. Have some
No,
for yourself, Miss Lauren.
Kimberly, not if it's a booty call situation. It
And
is
Yeah,
if
what
you
it
missed
is.
you missed the point of that, Alex. She telling her to move on so she can go ahead and get her boo.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, okay, my bad.
Trying to get Kimmy,
listen,
trying to get her out the way.
all I'm gonna get out of LJ is some trips.
But you know what was interesting about this, because see, I don't know if it's editing and maybe they asked the question, I have no clue, but I would have rather, instead of so much of when's the last time you hit it and moved on or whatever, I would have rather found out why did y'all break up if y'all still sexing? Like,
I think she's easy. That's
Well,
all I can say.
he said he was ready for something new. Did you guys catch that?
I caught that, and
Asked him about
I
that.
also caught him saying that he's gonna prioritize the new woman. So that means you got him in a alphabetical number
You know what he did? You're right. So it does
So I
sound
told
like
you,
he said, what do
polyamorous.
they call it? Polyamorous. You're right.
Mhm.
It does kind of sound like that. And like you said, maybe she came down. Maybe he's playing it off for the cameras in the confessional, because maybe they actually did come on so they could find their third or fourth or fifth party.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's ready to love a lot.
Mhm.
Keena, what do you think about that, Keena?
Think about what?
About LJ looking for a poly relationship.
Like I said, he's for the streets. So I mean, he fooled me. I thought he was a sweet island boy with the,
Hold on.
he was coming through. He had his soft little spoken words, and he was very charismatic. And now he come with his shit, and I'm over it.
His,
PG-13 girl.
Fantasy is gone.
his voice may be soft, but something else is hard. So
I don't know how you run a PG show with Alex. I don't know how you trying to run a PG show with Alex every time.
well, I didn't say nothing.
He's just responding to the other people on here because he knows better. But anyway, LJ realizes that he did not make the best choice for the task, as Lauren did not ask many questions, but instead admitted to still loving him. Swayze admits that Katie is not the best at communicating, because these dates were going consecutively. They were going back and forth. But now let's move on. Production sets up a double date with Mike and LJ, Katie and Charisse, and of course hilarity follows suit, because Katie admits that she does not care about making friends with the ladies, and the question is, does she really have a sugar daddy? Because Charisse does seem surprised that Katie really didn't want to be her friend. But guys, what are your thoughts about this double date, which really wasn't a double date? I said production set it up because none of these people liked each other. Magic Mike does not like Charisse, and nor does he like Katie, because he doesn't like strong women. He can't handle that. He's very insecure. And LJ, well, Charisse is already friend zoned him, and I don't know about Katie, but these people were clearly together for these two women to go at each other, is what I felt. So Kimberly, what are your thoughts?
Wow.
To me, the exchange was just very high school-ish. I didn't like it at all. The fact that Charisse pulled out the phone to prove that they said what they were best friends, or if we don't find anybody else, we found each other, or something crazy like that.
Right.
I just don't like when they come on the show and try to make friends. Yeah, you're around this person, but the ultimate goal should be trying to spend as much time as you can with as many men, I guess, as you can, just to see the connection there. So the friend thing, the sugar daddy thing, it was too much. It was too much for me. Way off field. I didn't like it. I don't know whether she has a sugar daddy or not, but it's just they missed the whole point of the show, and I just didn't like that segment at all. I don't know why they put it in there. Maybe they just needed something to fill in a spot. like you said, none of them have connections. They should not have been there. Sharice is totally not into LJ. I don't think he's into her either. It was just maybe a filler moment.
Yeah, I mean, LJ actually said he's the one who put it together, which I don't know how true that is. Like you guys say, production may have done that, but Sharice got these receipts apparently on her phone about things that Katie has said. Yeah, these text messages.
No, one. She had the one. The rest.
Well, she showed the one to Mike. She showed the one to Mike, but she said she has text messages, with the S at the end. That how they have been conversing and they're working on a friendship and so forth and so on. And Katie just, I'm playing the game. I'm not here for friends. I'm playing the game. So it's like, where is this coming from? So she just went at her. They went at each other. It was set for a dramatic effect. It's the same reason, in my opinion, why they kept Katie in and not Looney this week. Why they sent Looney home, because Looney is not drama like Katie.
And I think got no connections. Why the hell we gonna keep her?
No, because she still had an opportunity to make connections. She was on 2 group dates with exes. She still had an opportunity to make a connection. But Katie
episode 8. Yeah, it's kind of late, Alex, at episode 8.
Who was she gonna make a connection with? Episode 8.
You're kind of
I was playing in her face now, but go on.
like men do. He's an island boy.
Is he really?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, he's from Haiti. Did he ever tell you guys he's from Haiti? I'm joking.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, those are my thoughts. So I don't know what you guys think, but that's my thought about that scene.
Anyone else on the snafu between Sharice and Katie?
I thought it was really unnecessary, but at the end of the day, who cares if Katie has a sugar daddy? Good for her.
Exactly.
Hello. I would have been like, okay, and next.
And what was Katie trying to say about Sharice talking about Samson's vehicle? Like I didn't really get that. So
that was just a little hush, because you was talking. That was like a shut you up time moment, because you just keep talking. Every time I say something, you got something to say. So let's be for real. You said what you said too. You want to throw out all my stuff? You said what you said too.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Kina. Were you finished? Because I didn't want to cut you off.
Oh yeah, I was done. I just thought the whole scene was, unnecessary. But production put them in a room together because they knew that they did not like each other, and they knew that would become. It was already drama brewing up, clearly.
Yeah.
Right.
So they put them out on a date for them to go at it. They've been doing this all season.
So it starts with Mike it starts with Katie asking 1,000 questions like usual.
Right.
He can even answer and stuff. And so, that kind of just sends Mike to say, hey, you got this way about you. And do you guys notice it? And that's when Sharice jumps in with, yes, you're very aggressive. And it's like, sis, hold up. You coming off aggressive right now. Bring it, reel it in. You could have just said, the other thing, like, she's opinionated, but it's cool. So if you were trying to be my friend, why would you start off like that? If your biggest thing is you trying to be my friend, why would you just jump in like that?
Yeah, that was weird to me. Like, know your audience.
I think, it looked like that scene was definitely edited, and I agree with what our viewer Latasha Edwards is saying. Sharice's feelings look like they were apparently hurt. They were actually hurt, and Katie does tend to be unkind and has no remorse for anyone in any situation. And Latasha says that that's a major red flag to me at our big grown age, and I agree. I agree.
I hear what she's saying, but hold on. When you argue with petty people, and I'm telling you this for experience, because if you argue with me, you're gonna get that Katie reaction that she gave you, because she said, I don't want to hush, I don't want to do this with you. And Sharice kept going. Sharice was clearly hurt. And this is a thing that I've noticed, and that's what I was saying in the beginning. There's a thing that Sharice does when she is hurt. And we've seen it with Zoe or whatever. And granted, with Zoe, that was a different occasion. So I let that one go. But now I'm seeing it in this situation. Soon as you get hurt, you want to go very, very low immediately. So you're not a safe space for anybody. That means in a relationship, this is what you're going to tend to do, is start telling all the little things that you guys have built between you because you're hurt. So anything that man has probably told you about his insecurities, this, that, and the third, you're going to throw that back in his face when you are hurt. That is not good and conducive for a relationship.
Yeah, and that's why we always have to watch.
Friend.
Yeah, that's why we always have to watch giving too much about ourselves too early, because people will use it against you.
But see, it can only be used against you if it's going to affect me. It clearly didn't affect Katie in the least.
No,
it didn't affect her in the least. That was just showing you. That was showing how bad Sharice of a person is when it comes to having a disagreement with somebody. If that girl sat there and say, "I don't want to be your friend," okay, cool. We're not friends. Next, let's continue this conversation. We moving on.
Yeah, but you bring up a very good, Jay. You bring up a very good point though, because although maybe if in this place in the same situation, my feelings might have been hurt, but I'm sure I would have handled it differently, because like you said, and this is what I was talking about, I think a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about confidences, and even on the show Married at First Sight, a person who cannot hold water, cannot keep a secret, something that you tell them in private, they've got to always blast it, put it out there in front of everybody to try to embarrass you. That is a very dangerous person, and not a person that's going to be a good friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm like, you know, and a lot of times men want, or somebody that wants a long-term relationship, you got to have a friendship somewhere. So if I can't trust you with my secrets, because I got to be afraid that every time you get mad, you're going to start using them against me. Mm-hmm. We're not going to have nothing long. And that's why a lot of arguments go the way it does, because even with Sharice in that argument with Zoe, you walked out the room and then walked back in to tell him some more. Why?
Well, you know, look at how she behaved at this table, at this round table. She went back to being like a 7 or 8-year-old to Katie. "You're a big bad bully. I'm not afraid of you. You're a big bully." I mean, that's how she sounded.
You are so wrong. You are so wrong.
It's the voice for me.
She damn sure did say that. She damn sure did.
You are wrong. You are so wrong for that, Alex.
Sharice has a lot of bark.
Huh?
She has a lot of bark and no bite. Like Sharice has a lot of bark to me and no bite. Like she started off real like but then when someone come back at her, she like don't like it, and she's like defensive and want to go whine or cry or call someone a big bad bully.
Goes right to victim mode.
You came over, it's like a Karen.
Mm-hmm.
A Karen.
Exactly. You said it right there, Karen.
Wow. Yeah. So that just. I just found that to be amusing, and then here's Katie feeding into it.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm bothered by it, but believe it or not, I mean, I think that's the thing. She comes across like very unbothered, but I do think that is a thing with her.
That's a defense mechanism too.
It's a defense mechanism, and I think ultimately though it will get her into trouble, because you know, one thing about it, I think it's a sad thing when a man can't control his penis, and I also think it's a sad thing when a woman can't control her mouth. All of these things speak to your lack of maturity and your lack of ability to stay in a long-term relationship. If you can't control your penis and you're a man, that's a problem. If you can't control your mouth and you're a woman, that's a problem, because the same man that's going to be attracted to your physical beauty will not be attracted to the fact that you cannot keep his confidences.
Good point.
You know, that's just
a great point.
My thought on that.
That's a great point.
And then it's like what you said earlier with that Swayze deal of, you know, she acts a certain way with that. That's when I realized that what she was doing in this argument is her defense mechanism. Like she doesn't care. She's unbothered by it. It doesn't affect her. And a lot of times we tend to do that when we've either been bullied or like picked upon as a child. We get to this space where, you know, people have said so much stuff that we just go, you know what, I'm not bothered. I'm unaffected by it. This and that. And arguments, it works. And especially arguments like this, it works because the other person is affected by the fact you're not showing You're
right. And particularly men. Now, men are good. You can use this kind of strategy on men, because men typically, they really get more stressed out when, you know, they see you're unbothered. So I love using that strategy with men because I'm unbothered. So whatever you say is like no big deal, boo.
I learned that from my daughter's father's mother, because she told me no, seriously, that was the best thing she ever told me too, because she was like, the day you stop showing him you care, he's gonna stop messing with you.
Exactly.
And because she was like, as long as you keep showing, she's like, I'm not telling you not to not care about him, but I'm telling you to stop showing him
Stop
that
showing
you
it.
care, and then he'll stop doing these little things that get under your skin, because he
Right.
no longer can affect you like that. And literally it worked. And I was like, oh my gosh, why was not that?
Right. That's right.
Right. That's an excellent point. Kimberly, you want to add anything before we move on to kind of wrap this up? You want to add anything?
No, I kind of shared earlier. I just think that this was a bad, I don't know, segment or whatever. I just wish they would have left it out. It was just so immature, high school, whatever.
Yeah, kind of ratchet, basically, huh?
Yeah, I guess they had to add something. I guess they had to add something on it.
Yeah, like maybe it filled the 5-minute gap that they needed to make a complete episode. And that's a good point. That's why I said it was, and I'll go back to that card real quick. That's why I said it was production driven, definitely. So, the production value, and I'm going to say this real quick. I love you, Own. I love you. Who is this? Will Packard. Is this Will Packard's production, right?
Yeah.
But the show is starting to slip a bit, so as a reviewer of the show, I'm getting kind of concerned, but we're going to move on. Men's Lounge Meetup is where we see the guys next,
and very love and hip-hop.
Yeah. And they're discussing the women that they that don't meet their desires. LJ admits that he and his ex have been intimate lately. He talks about that briefly. And so you guys want to talk about the Men's Lounge, and then we'll move on to the elimination dates.
Keena, you all right over there?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Not a problem. Well, Jay, we'll jump over to Jay, and when you're ready, Keena, we'll come back to you. Jay, what were your thoughts about the Men's Lounge discussion about the women that didn't meet up to what they were looking for in a partner?
Wasn't much going on up in it. I mean, it's the usual. I mean, surprisingly, especially to when Ron is just arguing last week with us about how many names is said. I done heard Mike say about 4-5 names, all kind of ways. I was like, oh, okay. So there is some tops, threes, and top, give us your top this and that and the third or whatnot, and your bottom however many. So okay. I was just like, okay, that's cool, because I did hear Mike mention a whole bunch of names.
Yeah, we're at his bottom, or is that what you're saying?
I believe it was at his bottom, because it panned over to him a few times, and I was like, is it just because we only got so many men left? But
yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, what I noticed first of all is Tommy didn't seem too pleased with LJ stating that he's still intimate with his ex. So Tommy didn't seem to like, you here looking for love or what, bro? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but
Uncle Nephew Tommy is tired of babysitting these grown arse people that don't know how to date in 20 and 22. He's tired of it.
He was like, why would you bring that one?
And then of course, what did LJ do? Take a sip.
LJ was trying to show her off. Look how cute she is. Y'all think she cute too? Y'all think she cute too? Because I still like her. You think she cute? Yeah,
he's still knee deep. So, but the other thing is, a lot of the guys see Looney as homegirl, friend, fun, joking kind of thing. I guess they didn't see her as a real, intimate partner or somebody to build a long-term situation with. Because a lot of the guys named her as being that. Didn't have a connection, but she is fun. She is pretty, but just no connection. Not to mention the fact that she's not a phone person. So she kind of shot her own self in the foot with that one.
She has a distant energy a little bit. Like, she just, if you're not just coming to her, she gonna just sit there and not care and smile.
She's a little bit aloof. Yeah, I can see that. That's a very good point. Very good point.
Yeah, but she said she's not going to chase.
I don't blame her. And it wasn't really nothing there to chase anyway. So
why'd you stop?
I'm definitely not mad at her. Oh, I mean, Magic Mike, come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's sex with chocolate. That's what everybody love.
He was chasing justice. I don't know.
Not everybody. Not everybody.
She was chasing justice, so I don't know, because she was on.
Looney was chasing justice?
Yes, she was.
I thought that was Trinika that was chasing justice.
They all was chasing justice, because she was just smiling and happy when her and they had that little date with her friend and Justice, and he was saying a bunch of nothing, and she was just all happy about it. I was like, "Are you serious right now?"
Mm.
And you just shut down LJ all in his face, like, "Oh, okay."
Mm.
Kimberly, you have any thoughts about the men's lounge? I'm not going to even call it the gentleman's lounge anymore. It's just the men's lounge at this point. And if it drops any lower, it'll be the male's lounge.
Uh-uh.
I got one more after that, but they may take me off the air, so I'm not going to say it.
The Ninjas Lounge.
Not quite, but what my father used to say, close.
You better stop. Stop it.
No, I just really felt like it was time for Looney to go because she just seemed that she was over it. Like you said, it wasn't really anyone there. I don't think that she could really connect with and make a lasting relationship. And once she made that comment about not really wanting to fight for love, I just said, "Oh, that's it for her." And sure enough, she's out of there. But she took it well.
Mhm.
But no, as far as their roundtable discussion, it was funny. It was okay.
Yeah. Cookie, where you at, Cookie?
I'm here. I don't have any comments about the men's lounge. I think
Okay, what? Oh, go ahead, and then usher us into the elimination days. Then, will you?
Yeah, the elimination date. Yeah, Cookie, you got anything about the elimination dates?
I mean, I felt like Looney didn't have a.
She's going. Okay. Yeah, I think
honestly.
Oh, you back?
Okay. You back, Cookie? Because you're going in and out. Yeah, she's going in and out. But I'm gonna say this. I think that we saw the real Trinika finally, because she came in on 1,000. I mean, she didn't want Mike she didn't want to smile. Mike said, "You're not going to smile for me?" No, I'm not smiling. Let's get this over with.
I don't like that. I don't think most women like that when men tell us to smile. Don't tell me what to do with my body, my mouth, or anything else, sir.
Woo, child.
No, I mean, really, when's the last time a woman told a man to smile? Think about it, okay? All right, we living in an equitable society. Please don't tell me.
Not all of them got a nice smile now. We gonna keep it.
Well, that's all right, but I mean, you don't just walk up or sit there with a guy and tell him like you're getting ready to eliminate him, and you say, "Well, smile, David, smile, Ron." Smile.
In all fairness, you don't do it with a stranger, but in that case, she been smiling all up and down everybody's face, and all of a sudden, you're not doing it today.
Yeah, I mean, I have been told
she knew what it was. She knew what it was. Let's give her credit. She knew exactly what that date was.
Yeah, but she didn't have to be like that either.
Right.
She did not. I agree with you, but I'm just saying. But don't add insult to injury by telling me what to do. Don't
exactly.
When you're telling her to smile, you're basically trying to tell her how to feel, and that's what you're not going to do. You're not going to tell me what to do with my face, and you're not going to tell me how to feel because I feel how I effing feel, and you're going to leave me the F alone.
That's
okay?
that same energy.
No, that's two F's.
That's that same energy.
I'm just telling you. I'm here for what I'm here for. But see, me, I wouldn't have cared because there's really nobody there. I wouldn't have cared. That's the difference between her and I. I wouldn't have cared. So I wouldn't have had to curse anybody out because it would have been like, okay, thank you, have a nice day.
But she ain't trying to go home right now. I mean, she's fighting for her position.
She's not trying to go home right now.
But for what? She's not trying to go home. All these people are trying to stick around on this show, and they have no connection. She has no connection. So what are you sticking around for? Clout?
She don't think so.
Clearly,
she got a connection with who?
No, clearly, in her head, she do.
She thinks she got a connection with Randall. Shoot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She thinks she got a few connections because she was highly pissed off that when he said the men think you're not connecting, hold up. You got that wrong.
Right.
She backed him all the way back.
Here's the thing, and I'm gonna say this, and this is not okay, but I'm gonna put a big disclaimer. This is not about her. I'm not saying this about her specifically, okay? Mm-hmm. But a lot of the people on the show we know from past seasons, right, end up doing the sexual mumble in bed with these guys and the guys with the women, and then they think they got a connection, but really all you got is just what LJ's ex has. You got a friend with a benefit, and the benefit may not be that you get to stay on the show longer.
Hello.
Right.
Okay, just saying, ladies.
And for the record, Randall is for the streets.
Really?
Keena, which one of
from
these
D-
men on this
he
show
is
this
from
season or the
DC.
last 2
He
seasons was
is
not
from
for the street?
DC. He is from DC in the DC Streets Talk. He is for the
Oh, yeah, he
street.
did say that. Right.
He is
Oh,
for the
What you got
street.
on him, Keena? What you got on him, girl? Tell us.
yeah. Let it out.
Like I said, he for them streets, baby.
And he's
Are you-
not from islands.
He on
He's not from the island streets, huh?
He on the TV. He trying to have a good old time. Okay, he ain't thinking about none of them females on that show. Okay.
Well,
Oh.
of course not, because he couldn't even be bothered grooming his beard, grooming his hair, putting on decent clothes. So clearly, he don't care about none of those women on that show. Clearly.
Well, he clearly don't care about none of us women watching either. Shit, what they? Oh, excuse me.
I thought that was part of his sex appeal, his scraggly beard and everything else. I thought that's what y'all
Oh, you like it? You think it's
I thought
sexy?
that's what y'all like, you know.
No, you don't think it's what I like or any other woman.
I like it
because
on the
most
man that I
women-
like.
Most women like groomed men that are well
Well-groomed.
groomed. That's most
Well.
women. Yeah. If you're
Yeah.
going out on a date, if we're just lounging around at home and you're my boo, I mean, I know guys go through just like women. We go through days where we're not looking A1 or we're not going out. Maybe it's the weekend and we're just stuck at home or whatever. Maybe during the pandemic, during quarantine. But now, sir, no, that's not sexy at all. That just shows carelessness. That's all that shows. Quit playing.
I don't know a man that I know that got hair and don't like that fresh cut. You know what I'm saying? They always trying to get seen when they get that haircut. So
Right, not a black man particularly, not a black man. So I don't know where he came from. I don't know which island or which tree branch he fell out of.
It's the
but-
DC streets. It's the DC streets. We can't do nothing about it.
Yeah, how am I looking? Since y'all talking about it, am I looking all right here? Y'all sitting there
Come
talking.
a little closer.
Come a little closer. Let me see. Let me see. Come on.
There's real inspection going on.
Right, I know.
You
I'm not
look fine.
I'm not even going to ask Cookie. She always throws me under the bus. I'm not- Oh, my
Okay, and
goodness.
so we saw that Looney did, and to wrap things up, we see that Looney did get eliminated. But what I have to say about Miss Looney is that she handled herself with absolute class and grace.
Amen.
Thank you, Looney. Thank you for being a good representation.
With a smile on her face that nobody had to ask her for.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And because like I said, I don't think her person was there. And also I think that may be just who she is, that she's stylish and graceful, right? And even under pressure. I think that we've seen a lot of good examples of that, you know.
Yeah, and to that point is this now we are seeing who Trinica really is.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
that
and
all
and
that
that's
she's been doing.
yeah, and that's what Samson said to Looney. You're not ready to love any of us. So I'm glad he added that when he said that, you know, because there was nobody there for her.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I was just responding. I mean, one of our subscribers, Kirby, seems to think that women tell men to smile all the time.
They tell me. That's
Ladies,
what I was trying to say that. They tell me all the time.
Ladies, are you familiar with this, or have you yourself told a gentleman or a man that you're familiar with to smile? I'm just asking the ladies.
Yeah, especially shoot, like before me and my man started dating. When I walked into his shop to get my tattoo, I was like, "Oh, is this a bad day to get my work done? Because I'm gonna need you to change that look on your face, brother. If you go work on me, you know, I like good energy. So sometimes you gotta, hey, you good? What's up? Smile.
I mean, when I send pictures, you know, I've sent pictures in the past of people, and they say, "Oh, well, why you look so serious all the time? You always look so serious." I'm like, "What? Smile, show your teeth," you know. I'm like, okay, because the women do it all the time. So
you're saying, wait. You're saying if somebody is looking at a picture of you, then they're saying that about the picture. But I'm saying in direct sense, in person, right? And then also, here's the thing. So someone is meeting with you to cancel you. Like, let's say maybe they're in a relationship with you, and this person has got the audacity to tell you to smile.
Yeah, I ain't smiling.
That's the scenario that we're basically.
But see that, but she don't even know that she don't even know if she's being canceled or not at this point. So it's like, and then she quickly changed it at the end. She was like, "Oh, I can hear her. Hey, daddy." Like,
well, she know after the men's lounge when you go on a date. you about to get canceled. You might
You
be.
possibly,
They
but
do
you don't
know.
know
They do
that
have
it's you. It's
well,
a
right.
positive
She
chance.
wasn't sure if it was her. Right. You're right. You're right
I'm
about
not
that.
mad. I'm not mad. I'm not saying that she had to smile. I'm not saying that or whatever. It's just the rest of the energy with it. Like, let's get this over with. Yeah. And then the correction. If the man is saying that they don't finding it difficult to connect with you, you need to find out why is that. Because if you're feeling like you're connecting with them and they don't feel like they're truly connecting, that's a why. Not no, the correction, that's wrong. Like, how are you telling them they wrong on how they feel?
And you see how much she
Right.
smiled after he said the guys think you're still ready to love. You see how much she smiled then?
Oh, wait a minute. While we're talking, no, never mind the smile. Forget all that. But no, really, seriously. Wait a minute. What was this reaction that she had at the end when he told her that she was still ready to love? That she jumped. They stood up to leave, and she jumped up and wrapped her legs around his body. What the?
That's what I'm saying.
What the heck was that?
You throwing yourself on all these men, and you're wondering why they saying it's difficult for them to connect with you because they don't know if you're genuine or you're serious. It's almost like how Brandy feels about the gifts. You know, is this a genuine thing? Is this a sincere thing or not? You're doing this to everybody. You're jumping up in everybody's face all the time. I don't know if you're really doing it. Even Randall said it in the past episode. I don't know if she's actually laughing at my jokes or if I'm that funny. Like, you know, like it's a bit much.
Yeah, she wrapping her legs around people. Last episode, her cheeks were hanging out. She was twerking.
We knew you wasn't gonna forget that, Alex.
Chocolate cheeks.
Guys, wait a minute. Okay, there you are, Samson.
Oh, there goes Samson. What's up, Samson?
Okay.
There you go.
Up daily, classy and funny, consistently. Glad we had another date to break and get to know, break bread, I think, and get to know one another. Get great memories, naturally beautiful Black women. Yes, Samson.
Exactly. And she
we're waiting for you to come on and talk to us. You know, we're waiting for you to come on after the season to talk to us. Okay. So, and I have not responded to your comment you left a while back, but I will be getting back to you, sir.
Yeah, Samson, type in the chat that you will be coming to see us. Type that in there so it'll be a written document.
Yes. Go ahead and say. You may as well say now because we've had them all on before. Tell them, Keena. We do people right over here at this channel. Is that right, Keena?
Yeah, where Cookie at? She going?
I think she's still.
Oh, say something, Keena. Stand up for your girl and your boy. But it is good to see you over here, Samson, because I see you've been over everybody else's channel. So we're gonna have you over here, sir, to talk about some things.
I like Samson. I think Samson is probably like one of my favorites. You know, LJ was my favorite. Then he went to the streets. So now before LJ, it's Samson. So I actually do like Samson.
Samson, quick answer. Are you for the streets? Let them know now.
Samson like a gentleman.
Talk about it.
Find out later.
LJ's a nice guy. You're gonna stay up for LJ.
Thank you.
A nice guy in the streets.
A nice guy in the streets. But guys, we're gonna start and we're gonna go from, if you look on your screen, guys, myself excluded, we'll start with Kimberly and just briefly tell our subscribers, tell our viewers where they can find you or how to reach you on your IG. So Kimberly, you start. We'll go with Alex and then we'll go over to Cookie and then Jay last. Okay, go ahead, Kimberly.
All right, you all can find me on YouTube and Facebook, Kimberly Reviews, also on IG, Kimberly Reviews _. So I look forward to chatting with you all, reviewing Ready to Love, Married at First Sight, and I also post my travel and just any topic you want to talk about, let me know and we'll discuss it.
Yes.
Awesome.
Alex W. Leith here. You can find me on Facebook under Alex W. Leith. Instagram is AWLeith67 on Instagram, and also my YouTube channel. My new one is called Magnetic Repellent. So go over there, like, subscribe. I released 2 new videos this weekend. I'm pretty sure you guys will love them.
Hey guys, my name is Cookie Keena. You can find me at she_is_Cookie. You know, I am watching these streets, y'all. So y'all better be moving quietly because I am watching and reporting. Okay. So
Recording
you
live.
can find me again at she_is_cookie, or you can find me at my other page, Black Women Do Work. I'm doing a lot of great things for the Black women in the community. So you can check me out there. So it's blackwomendowork.for us. And yeah, you know, if you got any tea you want to drop, just jump in my DM and let me know, because I will report it to my crew.
I love it. And last but definitely not least, the lovely Jay of Another Round.
First of all, Keena said reporting live from these streets. Reporting live from these streets. Okay.
Yeah.
Hide your wives, hide your men. No. But you guys can find me on IG at another round _JS, at YouTube another round JS, and my personal page is the Sexy Tomboy. If you want to come over there, I'm gonna start posting up some stuff, and then when I start, I'm coming back soon on YouTube. I know it took me a long little hiatus, but I'm coming back, and when we start back, we're gonna have we're gonna have a special talk for the ladies. It's gonna be me and child, my brain is going right now. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Take your time, Jay.
I'm having a brain fart. Because I got Keena's name stuck in my mouth right now. I'm sorry, Keena. I know it's not you or whatever, but it's going to be me and hold on.
Maybe you'll have to add Keena to the lineup then, since she's
Right,
Well,
exactly.
I would have to ask Keena the situation, because it's going to be me and Libba. We're going to be talking about our hysterectomy journeys and stuff. So when we come
Libba.
back-
Okay,
Libba,
Libba.
that's my girl. But I ain't had a hysterectomy though. But that's my girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but Keena's been to the panels before, so you know she's always welcome to come and share her stories and stuff like that with us as well. But yeah, when we come back, we're gonna do a little thing for the women out there.
Absolutely.
Mostly.
I would love to hear more information about that also.
Yeah. You know, we've I believe she had the same thing, but it has to be for her to tell it. But you know, fibroids is a big thing, especially about the community right now.
Tell me about it.
And I elected to do mines, but there are other options. So I do want you guys to know you do have other options, other means. I just was in the position to where it's like I'm not worried about having any more children. So I'll go ahead and do this.
Right. Okay. Well, I mean, then I may have to join that panel for the other side of that journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that may be something that we can talk about because that's a very good point though. I love it. And so tell them, what is the name of your channel, Jay, so they can reach you on YouTube, on these YouTube
streams? It's another round JS. If you put it in, you know, the hashtag with not hashtag, but / another round JS, you'll find it.
Absolutely. Well, guys, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank all of our panelists: Kimberly Reviews, Magnetic Repellent, Keena, and especially another round with JS. And I want to thank also especially all of you that for staying here and sticking till the end. I especially want to thank our wonderful, wonderful moderators and our members. I want to thank LMV, Monique, for having our backs and for always keeping the chat safe and sound. And, you know, we got a little bit off the PG-13, but it was a lot of fun, guys. I have to say, it was a lot of fun. And with that, guys, we're on our way out. Say bye, everybody.
Peace.
Bye, everybody.